when my child support was last revised, I was making $18 an hour. Now I'm not making that.
And sir, what led you to file the motion?
So back when I was last when my child support was last revised, I was making $18 an hour, and now I'm not making that. I'm making around 15 part-time. So I just wanted to get it revised because I was working full-time when I was getting 18.
Okay. And that was, and what, that was 2 years ago? About a year and a half?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5 years.
2-3 years ago.
All right. And where were you working then?
I was working for Dish,
Where are you working now?
Best Buy.
What led to you changing jobs to a lower paying job?
It was work from home, Dish was, and it was during COVID. And after COVID, I just really didn't want to sit in the house all day.
So you took a job making less money?
Yeah, 10 hours a day at my computer was not fun.
So the last calculation from 2020, I show the income used that was put in was actually the minimum wage at that time, $9.65 for 40 hours a week. At that time, you reported $11.50 an hour, working 16 hours a week. So you were imputed.
Wait, when was that? I'm sorry.
In 2020.
That was at Meyer. But after Meyer.
Uniform child support order.
All right. I talked to somebody at front of the court when I got the job at Dish.
Mm-hmm.
And because that was the only time, like normally I would just implement my on the website. I would go to the where it says add income withholdings, and I would implement it on the website. That was the only time I called somebody and actually told them about like where I was working over the phone, and it was at Dish. I don't know if that was implemented. I wasn't making minimum wage then. And
We don't adjust your support just because you change a job unless someone motions it in or it's time for a review.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So what do you want to do?
I don't know. I was just hoping to get it looked at.
I can look at it. I can guarantee it's not going to go down.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you're making $5 an hour more now than you were then. With the potential for having it run at a higher wage for a job that you voluntarily quit. It's your motion. You can withdraw it if you want, or we can crunch the numbers. It's up to you.
I can withdraw. It's okay.
All right. Now, I mean, the other party's on notice now that support would likely go up if it was reviewed, so she could file her own motion if she wishes, but you do have the right to withdraw the motion that you filed. So with that, I'll consider the motion withdrawn and the current order would remain in effect. All right.
Okay. Yep.
All right. We're all set for today.
He does have one more hearing at 2:30.
All right. I'll log back in at 2:30 and find you.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Ma'am, you understand what's going on?
Yeah, I do, but I actually didn't find out this hearing like through him. Like I know when you file a motion, you're supposed to send the paperwork. Yep. And I didn't get anything. I just randomly called yesterday and then they told me about it. So she told me to make sure that you knew about that.
We sent all the information. We sent it to Virginia as well. Virginia got hers. It was all sent out.
It said it was mailed on May 10th. He's withdrawing his motion anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I guess so. But is there anything I can do about, because she's 11 years old and he's never, ever paid consistently her whole entire life. Like even when it was $100 a month.
Anything you can do to have the first?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir, I see you are about 4,500 behind. Have you not been making your monthly payments?
I've been making as much as I could. I like with Best Buy, I actually enjoy this job. I've been picking up shifts regularly. I've been enjoying it. But I mean, been a busy few years.
Well, okay. it's $212 a month, and you paid $50 so far this month. Didn't pay anything in April. You paid about $50 in March, or wait, you made a couple payments in March. You met the obligation in March.
August of 2021 was the last time he paid the full support. The 226 plus some on arrears.
So a year and a half since you paid the full amount. You know, what's going on? You quit a job making 18 an hour full time that enabled you to meet your obligations to take a lesser paying job. If you can still make ends meet, you know, I guess that's fine, even though I may not use that wage if I did run support in the future. However, if you can't meet your obligations, that was a poor decision.
Yeah. I mean, I just started this job. So, I mean, I get paid next week. You guys, I got notice that income withholdings are going to be happening. It didn't happen with my first paycheck. So I sent out what I could because it was a small check. It was only 1 week's worth of pay.
If you're making $18 an hour full time, why weren't you paying the $212 every month?
I set it up to where it would get withdrawals from my paycheck. I called the friend of the court. I set that up. They asked me where the headquarters for Dish was so they could send the paperwork. And
so Ms. Evan, those payments weren't made?
No, there's no, what was Dish under? Because I don't see an income withholding order for Dish ever.
I can't remember where Dish, I don't remember. I just know it was Dish Network. I called.
Is that Axiom?
I don't think so.
When was this? What year?
2020. It was 2021.
Ecosphere?
Hold on. I'm trying to see if I can find out what Dish is under.
There's Ecosphere, Wild Wild West Tobacco, and unemployment in 2021. We had Walgreens and in 22, Murphy Oil.
It must have been the one before the Wild Wild West.
Ecosphere.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that went out in April of 21. And how long were you there?
A few months.
And that could be part of the problem because it takes time. If we don't get it to them quick, it can take 2 to 4 weeks before they even get it on their system. So you have a responsibility if it doesn't come out of your check to make sure it gets paid and to keep in touch and until it gets to that point where it's coming out like it should.
And that's what I did with this last check that I got from Best Buy. I sent as much as I could. Like I have bills to pay and stuff, and I know I have an obligation to make those payments. I sent what I could.
Sure.
How many other bills are you $4,500 behind on?
Not any.
How many of those other bills, if you don't pay them, could end up with you going to jail?
None.
Okay, so you need to make this one a priority.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that much. It's based on minimum wage. You were making twice that for some period of time.
Mm-hmm.
There's no excuse for not having made those payments.
Can I ask a question? You guys have is there any way you guys can look to make sure that the Best Buy is going to come out of the check?
We send it. It's up to your company to respond and take it out. So it
got
has been sent but not accepted they haven't sent us a response.
Okay, I got an email. It says ADP garnishment wage notice. I don't know if I can hold this up to the screen and you guys can see it.
Sure.
But it's a wage garment and it says Best Buy on it.
Okay. Does it tell you how much is going to come out? Are you paid weekly, bi-weekly?
I'm paid bi-weekly.
So it looks like maybe bi-weekly you should have $143.22 coming out.
Okay.
Is that what it tells you?
It doesn't say anything.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
Hold on. I can.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't say anything. I just got 2 of them because of obviously the 2 cases.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you'll just want to monitor that through your, I imagine you have an online where you can log into your ADP.
Yeah.
And see. So if you don't see it coming out like it's supposed to, you need to make up the difference and probably
Okay.
contact your payroll and make sure
Yeah.
they don't need something. And if they do, you can call us.
Okay.
Okay?
So, all right. I guess we're all set for today. You need to make sure those payments are made. Do you have other
Okay.
income in the house that you rely on, in addition to your income?
Well, I have my wife's, but I'll pay like utilities. The utilities that are in my name, I'll pay. And then she pays the utilities that are in her name, and she makes the mortgage payment of the house. And yeah.
All right, well, you gotta understand, I don't care where the money comes from.
Yeah.
If it's not paid, you're the one that's facing jail time.
Okay.
I know it's not her obligation legally, but if she works enough or makes enough that allows you to work part-time for $15 an hour, and you don't have enough to pay it on your own, then it's gotta come out of her money.
Right.
Unless she doesn't care if you go to jail or not, because,
Hmm.
I mean, that's the bottom line. You've been a poor payer, you're $4,500 behind on a $200 a month obligation. That's a lot of missed payments.
Hmm.
And if that continues, Ms. Heaven's on notice now that the matter be set for enforcement proceedings.
Okay.
That can not only result in potential jail time, but a contempt fine of $100. It can result in your license being suspended, your passports being suspended, things like that. All right,
But that's the enforcement's not going to happen, right? Because I have like right now, because I have the employment and payments are going to be coming through.
I don't think it's been initiated, doesn't sound like, but
No, I think you got a break because we've been short-staffed. So it's not been, and you've had an employer, so it's maybe been missed up until now.
yeah,
But like now that I've stated that like I got the income withholding notice, it's not going to be put into effect.
As long as we see your monthly support paid as it's supposed to,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
all right. And Ms. Moreno, for your benefit, and they have so many cases that in this type of case, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. If you call and say, I'm not getting payments, that moves your case up for enforcement proceedings, the show cause and things like that, okay?
Okay.
All right. And as I told you, just because I'm dismissing his motion today, doesn't mean you can't address support in your own motion.
Okay.
All right, we're all set for today. Sir, don't hang up. The other party in your other case is logged in, so we'll just start that one now.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank you.
Ms. Marino, you're all set, yeah. All right, we'll take up file 2020-57342, Virginia Ball and Conrad Whitney, both are here. Matter was set for hearing on Mr. Whitney's motion regarding support. Sir, I know, because we just had a hearing, but Ms. Ball wasn't here for that hearing. What led you to file the motion?
Just change in wage, but we've from the other hearing we established that it doesn't really add up to what I'm wanting. But unlike my previous case, I have a consistent relationship with my daughter, and we're getting her on the regular. Me and Miss Ball have an out of the court arrangement where I get her for my time and stuff.
All right, well, let's not skip ahead here. Ms. Heaven, what was support based on last time? It was run at a different time, so maybe it was based on different income. I don't know.
It was. There was a December 16th, 2020 hearing. $13.25 an hour times 40 hours was used for Mr. Whitney.
All right, and the support is currently three something a month?
Support is $371.
All right, so sir, a different income was used at that time. The motion, or it came up for hearing at a different time anyway, so you had income when this case came up for a review or a motion that you didn't have, I guess, when the last one did, even though it was just a few months apart. Are you still interested in pursuing your motion then at this time?
I would like it.
Now.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I mean, you're making more now per hour, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, we can just withdraw it.
All right, so support would remain as is. Ms. Ball, you're here for this matter. Do you have anything you wanted to address? Mr. Whitney, I think, thought that higher income was used when his obligations were run back in 2021. Requested to withdraw the motion, which means support would remain as is, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, sounds good then. Support remain as is, motion to be dismissed.
Thank you.